Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School, where Rodney and I talk about our issues with technology, these allergies that just won't go away, the weather, designer masks, and even a little bit of divine intervention.
What's going on?
Not much, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, I was sitting up here like, damn, it's been running smooth all along now. What happened to my shit? You know? And I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to call them boys I pay to come out here. I don't know what's going on with my AOL account, man. That's why I have you send it to both, because I came in here when I was looking for stuff. It was working fine. AOL was working fine. Just said, all my stuff was gone. I had a couple of, like, on my phone and everything, messages. And then I tried to go in there, and now it's telling me you need to renew your password. That's when it's always got a little shield up there. I'm like, oh, hell. It's working on the phone, working on my computer downstairs, but the laptop screwed up. So just another day in the world, brother.
Yeah, that's where I got me a new laptop, and that's why I went. I'm like, oh man, I thought I had all Rodney's email addresses saved. I had to go back and find some old emails. I thought I'd copied the whole address book over, and obviously I didn't. So I had to go back and look up the not the AOL one, the Gmail one.
Yeah.
And I said, damn, I thought I had that in my address book, but I guess I didn't. So I know what you mean, man. I was thinking, I was like, shoot, I'm gonna have to call Rodney and cancel this one, man. I went outside yesterday, man, called myself working out in the yard with this nice. It's like 80 degrees here yesterday, man.
Yeah.
And man said, did you take any your sinus medicine? I'm like, no. Did you have a mask on? No. Got up this morning, man. I'm like, oh God, felt like somebody had thrown some cement in my head,
Yeah.
And I'm still a little nasal now. I've been rinsing out with that saline stuff and taking that Flonase nose spray and stuff, and it's gotten a little bit better. But I'm like, I said, I guess that's just karma. 'Cause I used to make fun of Marion and the girls when they sinus would be bothering them. I said, I ain't got no kind of sinus problem. I can go out here and walk through a dust storm, not Steve. Now, shit. Least little thing, I go outside, man, and the wind's up a little bit, or I'm raking leaves and stuff. I come in and I'm hawking, and I got snot running out of my nose and stuff. I'm like, man. I said, well, that's what you get. You was talking about how they was, and all that stuff is hitting back on you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's beautiful here. It's been beautiful here ever since. Well, I just had the last bit of ice melt yesterday. Well, because we didn't get no snow, man. It looked like snow, but I mean, it sleeted for like a day and a half down here, man. It was blown all up against my garage door on that side of the house. The sun only goes so far out on the driveway.
Right.
And up around the house, it's in shade the whole time, the way the sun hits. So, man, the sun it melted everything all around the house except right there. So, yeah, I'm going out there with my shovel. Let me get some of this mess up here. But it was hard as a rock, man. And the way it had blown it up against the driveway, it's like a big old hill. When you back out, you got to go over the hill of ice to get on the other side. So, man, I got out there with that shovel. I managed to knock it down, but boy, I paid for it. I was like, shit, I tell you what, we're going to wait till these temperatures come up. That's going to have to melt. That's going to have to melt. So,
yeah, because I think y'all was getting the ice, and the time it got to us was primarily rain. I mean, it rained last week, seemed like every day. I mean, hard rain. Rain was pooling, puddling in the yard in places where it hadn't puddled before,
Yes, sir.
And, but I'm like, I said, I ain't going to complain, because I know I'd much rather have the rain than the snow and the ice. So I wasn't complaining, but it was just raining and raining and raining.
Yeah, it was that way here with that sleet, man, and cold. I mean, it got down to, I think it was 9 degrees one day, and it warmed up in the 20s. And then, as soon as that sun go down, well, actually, we didn't have no sun. As soon as nighttime came, it went right back. So that stuff stayed a while. I tell you how bad it is. I tell people all the time, I said, man, I was stationed here for about 12 years. They closed the base one time in 12 years. Well, they closed twice last week, 2 days in a row. They got Thursday, Friday off. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard of that. They tell you to get out there and ice skate.
That's right. Yeah, I know it takes a lot to close the bases down. 'Cause I think I told you that time it snowed at Scott. Snow is snow and ice too up there. Same kind of situation, and
Hmm.
they hadn't closed the base. So I go on and head out to work, man. Roads all the way to the base was fine. I got on base, came through the gate. I mean, I wasn't 10 feet past the gate. Man, my truck started sliding, and I was hitting the median on one side, and I go all the way back across the other two lanes, hit the
Dang.
median on the next side. And I
Yeah,
mean, I
man.
was going slow enough that it wasn't a big deal. But
Right.
everybody behind me saw it. I mean, everybody behind me basically just sort of stopped, just to let me do my deal. So whenever he get through sliding all over the road, we'll go. And finally I got to a point, probably 30, 40 feet on up there. I got into before I get some traction, and I came on in. A guy pulled up beside me at the light, and he said, "Man, Scott ain't done their job, have they?" I said, "Well, no." I said, "I know the runways get first priority." I said, "But if you can't get through the gate and get to the runway, they're gonna do
Right.
you no good."
That's right.
you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
buddy.
So I know how that is. That snow is bad, but boy, when it's got ice under it, it's tough.
It's tough, man. That's why I made sure, I ain't never really particularly needed or wanted a four-wheel drive. But well, except for my Infinity, every one of them got four-wheel drive. We know,
Right.
the Infinity is our, well, he didn't wash the cars. That's the one we're gonna drive to get dirty kind of deal. And uh, but it can't go. I mean, it's got that rear-wheel drive. Might as well not even try that. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, they won't even get out of the driveway. So I did that on purpose when the older I've gotten. I'm like, man, because I have these uh, uh, dreams of, every year down here we have some people falling over with heart attacks trying to shovel the sidewalks and the driveway. I even went out looking for me a snowblower. I'm like, I'm not going out like that, man. And so I've had to shovel my driveway so many times, man, because it's on a decline, man, just
Right.
a little bit of a hill. I'm like, shit, I tell you what, next vehicles I buy, they're going to be four-wheel drive. Shit, I can get out there and just wait for the sun to just climb right up that hill. Yeah, baby. I, hey, I put all my snow shovels out in the shed. I'm like, y'all retired now. Cause hey,
Yeah, man. I bought us a snow blower. We was in Maryland when I was stationed at Bowling, man. It came a big snow. I know it was same time of year, President's
hmm
Day that weekend. It started snowing Thursday night and then stopped snowing that following Tuesday. Man, it
right.
snowed and snowed, and I got out there and with my little shovel and was trying to. And we had a long driveway there too. I was trying to shovel. Man, it seemed like time I got 2 feet shovel, there'd be another inch and a half of snow back there. Finally,
Yep.
I told me, I said, I'm giving up. I'm wasting my time. The time I get a little spot shoveled out, it's back in snow.
Yep. Yep.
And I just so happened my neighbor he lived there. He was retired, I think Navy. Yeah, was a retired Navy
Mm.
guy. He had lived there for a long time. He had one of them big, huge ones. It was probably the last thing you could get before you got to get one you can ride on. I mean, it was a
Right.
huge
Right.
one. He came over there with that thing. He saw me out there. He said, "Big, let me take care of it." He came over there with that snow blower, man. That snow was flying out there like they
Yeah.
was trying to do a snow slope or something.
Yep.
I said,
Yep.
"Man, I need to go get me one of them," because I said I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't came over. So I went and bought. I didn't buy one that big. I
Yeah.
bought a smaller one. But yeah, man, same thing I thought about too. Them stories about people having heart attacks, getting out there snowing. I
Yeah,
said,
man.
go buy you a snowblower, and I went and bought one.
Man, I went on a hunt for them around here, man, and we had a Sears here going out of business. I'm like, hey, let me go and get. Only thing is, they had a couple of them over there, and I went online, and looked at uh, the ratings of it, and they wouldn't let you open it. I wanted to look at it, to kind of get a visual of what it would do, and they wouldn't let you open it. I'm like, I'm not finna buy this stuff and then be unsatisfied with it. I needed to do.
Right.
And just never did do it. And of course, every time it does something, I'm like, man, I should have went on and got that snowblower. But I missed one of my neighbors. It's funny, he said he was retired Navy too, man. He had one of them big front loaders out here, man, because going out of our neighborhood, you have to go down a decline again.
Right.
Right into the main road. You slide your ass all the way down out there. One of them trucks be coming, And but he would take that front loader, man, do it in the whole neighborhood, all the streets. And for those of us around here in this cul-de-sac, he'd do the driveways. I woke up one morning and I'm sitting there drinking coffee. I hear all this noise outside. I'm like, what the hell? I go let my garage up there. Hey, Rodney, don't worry about it. I got it, brother. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you, man. He was shoveling my driveway with that front loader. I'm like, took him like 2 trips and he was done. I'd have been out there till the day trying to get that mess out of there. So it worked out good. But
yeah, that's as a matter of fact, we brought that snowboard we brought it down here to Tennessee when we moved back, and there was a lady that worked with Marion and was getting ready they were going to North Dakota. Minot. They weren't even military people.
Lord.
They were going to I think she had a teaching job at the university somewhere up there in North Dakota and around Minot, and she man, I don't know, her and man got to talking about the weather up there and stuff. And man told her we had a snowblower and that we probably ain't gonna be able to, be much use down here. So I think we sold it to her for like $20 or something. Right. And I mean, there's been a couple of times that we could have used it, but the weather changes so quickly that if it does come a big snow, it's always warmed up really quickly to where a couple of days and it's pretty much all gone. And I told man, I said, the only thing is just leave the snow down there, because if you start trying to move it as ice on it, then you're just taking the snow off the top of the ice.
Yeah.
I said, we'll just leave the snow there. And we never had any problems, getting out, even when we did have some snow, because it was pretty much all snow. We didn't get a whole lot of ice. But I remember them talking about that weather when it was coming this way, that out in Oklahoma and all, y'all were going to be getting some ice and stuff. And that stuff,
man,
that's dangerous. I mean, it sleeted a little bit here last week when it turned off a little bit cold and it was raining, but it wasn't nothing. It just enough that you could tell it was sleep, just the way that it was hitting the house and hitting the cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You could tell it was sleep versus rain, but it didn't collect. They didn't do anything. And then, like I say, this week it's been up in the 70s. It's supposed to be up in the 70s again next week. So everybody got spring fever, man. I tell you, it's crazy. I'll be noticing you let it get anywhere above 59 degrees in Tennessee, and you go out and our Caucasian brothers and sisters, they gonna break out the booty shorts. They gonna break out the sleeveless t-shirts. I'm like, come on now. It's just 60 degrees. It ain't 90 out here now. But they and flip-flops. They got the flip-flops. They got the booty shorts. Oh, they got the t-shirts. I'm like, boy, I tell you, they just wanted that little hint that the weather's warming up.
We were going in BX. What day was that? It's like a couple of days ago. And it's nice, out there, but it was still like it was like 49 to 50, but the sun was out. And it was good enough it was cold enough to have, you needed a long sleeve shirt on anyway.
Right.
Man, we got out there, this girl had on booty shorts and flip-flops. And had a little boy, he had a coat on. And Rosin said, now, it ain't that damn warm out here.
That's what I said too.
She had broke out, boy, her legs was white. She said, look at her legs, white as snow. She's like, hell, I'm finna get some of this sun, boy. But yeah, we were laughing about that, man. She goes, nah, it ain't that damn warm out here.
That's the same thing I said. I'm like, nah, it's sunny out and it's warmed up a little bit, but it ain't that one. Now, this week, you might have been able to get away with it. Like I said, it got up to 80 yesterday, so it was really nice and warm yesterday. But like I say, it don't take much past 60. They'll break them out, boy. I tell you.
Hey, I'm telling you. And hey, we've had plenty of that here this week. We're supposed to be raining all weekend. I'm supposed to be barbecuing, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But yeah, it really don't matter to me now that I'm retired, because it's just like we went out before this thing came in, and I said, "Hey, we got to get my snacks now. Let's go get some snacks." And that's what we did. You know how you go in the grocery store, you end up buying a whole bunch of other stuff, and she's like, "Well, hell, I don't even really have to come for my commissary shopping no more this month because we don't need no meats, but we got every dang thing else out there again, So we was just in here. So that's what I was planning for. Let it, you can stay out there a week. I ain't got nowhere to go. I can stay right here in the house. But if I need to get out, my truck will get up the hill. One of my cars will get up the hill. So I ain't worried about it. But back in them days when we had to work, and then they was fooling us, telling us, "Oh, you're essential personnel." I ain't that damn essential. I don't want to be essential.
Yeah, but I remember those days too. I was telling this guy the other day. I said, it's funny when you call yourself retired. At least me. I said it's funny how I still on the weekends think I've got to get stuff done. It's almost like this. There's just something about the weekend that still stays in my mind that you gotta get stuff done. It's the weekend. And then I'll finally, tell myself, look, dummy, you got every day is almost a weekend for
Yeah,
you
it
now.
is.
Why you think you got to do it? But I guess after all these years of the weekend just being different, it's hard to get past that, And I said, I'm trying to, but I guess it'll be with me, till I go to the grave. But well, it's the weekend. I need to go run around, go do this and that. And I said, as a matter of fact, these days, that's probably one of the worst time to be out there because that's when everybody else is out there.
Yes, sir.
So I started doing things in the, the middle of the week and going out to like Lowe's and Home Depot and those kind of places more midweek than on the weekends because that's when all the people that's got to work come out.
That's right. And plus, too, I use that now as my escape to get out because I'm tired of sitting in this house. Hey, I'm finna ride to Lowe's. That's kryptonite to her. If I say Lowe's, I don't want nothing in Lowe's. So, but yeah, we're still of the same mindset, man. Been conditioned. So we were discussing, kind of how lackadaisical people are in our hometown. When the COVID was really in its heyday, and so we were saying like, well, man, when is there not a holiday weekend and we can just sneak in, and just visit a mom, and then get on out. Because, as soon as people hear you there, here they all show up. No masks, no, you don't know where these folks been. And so I was like, we thought about it, and I was like, well, shit, if we're going to do something like that, we can go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That would be better.
Right.
Because, those are still at work or whatever. I said, we can kind of slip and minimize, the exposure to all the different folks. The immediate family, you can pretty much, okay, they should be fine. But I mean, everybody seems to stop by when we go down there. And, but yeah, having that flexibility now, like, man, we ain't got to wait till the weekend like we've always done to head down there. You can go any day we want to. I said, yeah, go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and come on back.
Yeah. Especially like you say, if you want to go down and make a quick turnaround and ain't got to have everybody coming around. And like I say, you just don't know what they've been into and stuff. Because I know, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Like I say, once again, the sinus stuff, man, my sinus started getting congested and stuff. And I mean, I wasn't blowing anything out, thick or anything. It just, I had these, and I used to not, once again, I never got sinus headaches. I had these sinus headaches. I was taking Sudafed, nose spray, and Tylenol and everything. It just wasn't going away. So I finally went in. I said, of course, first thing on your mind is, well, it may be more than sinuses,
Right.
So I go in and one of these little urgent care clinics, and the guy said, well, we need to do a COVID test, make sure that's not what it is. He said, but I don't think that's what you got just from what the symptoms you have. And so I went in and got that done. And he came back and said, no, it's not COVID. He said, you just got some sinus stuff going on. And he said, I don't think you got an infection going on by any means, because I don't see any sign of that. He said, but we're going to go ahead and give you a steroid shot, or you definitely got something going on. If you've been going on for almost a week now, we need to do something
Mm-hmm.
and give you some antibiotics. He said just to make sure. So I went ahead and got that done. But yeah, it's one of those things. As a matter of fact, as soon as I started feeling, I started out with a bit of a sore throat. It was sort of crazy. It wasn't one of those like those lingering kind of sore throat that every time you swallow, it just sort of like swallowing fire kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of I swallowed like the first couple times in the morning, and it felt like just like one side of my throat, but I mean, it just like burned. I'm like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it seemed like by the time the morning was over, it was gone.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
well, they talking about this COVID symptom sometimes can start out with a sore throat. I said, but that didn't linger. It was pretty much gone. But the sinus thing just kept on and on and on. And I got one of those tests that they sent you, and I'm like, well, maybe I ought to do the test and send it in. And I said, well, damn, by the time I do the test and send it in, it's going to come back and say, you need to quarantine. I'm like, my quarantine time's over now. I'm like, well, it sort of defeats my purpose. I'm like, it ain't like I'm going out amongst a bunch of crowd up in their face anyway, but still,
Right.
I'm like, I know. I said, if it is positive, that's exactly what they're going to tell you to do. Wear mask up and quarantine. And I'm saying, but that time, my quarantine time's over.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had to take Rosalind to urgent care. She had a severe sore throat. It was kind of like it wasn't kind of like, it was exactly like when she's going through chemo, and that kind of got scared then, and we took her into one of those urgent care things, and they determined she didn't have COVID, which we were glad of, but that sore throat, I mean, she couldn't swallow. I mean, it was just severe. And they gave her a couple of things. They said, well, take this for a day, and if this don't work, then try this other thing. Whatever that other thing was, knock that stuff right out. I said, well, you need to hold on to that just in case. I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of antibiotic, though, I think. And but her same thing. She's got sinuses, and hers, once we knew it wasn't anything more serious, it was like that drainage was what was getting her, and like it normally does. But yeah, man, these days you can't be too. I had to check myself, man. I'd be all right around the house. We were in Walmart one day, man. If I wear that mask too long, man, I got to come up for a little air, man, because I start sneezing and all kind of stuff, man. I was in that line, man. I started sneezing. You know how everything get quiet and people looking at I mean, I couldn't help but sneeze. People looking like, oh, you can see that basket kind of slide back a little bit. So I'm like, man, let me. I told Ross, I said, let me walk over here, pull this mask down, give me some fresh air, But they go to looking at you crazy, which now it ain't so much so because ain't nobody got on no mask.
No, that's the way. I mean, I still wear mine. I mean,
I do too.
there's been a couple of times that I've gotten out of the car and forgot it, and I just went on without it. Where I used to, I just go right back. I said, no, I ain't taking no chance. I'd go back and get it.
Yeah.
But pretty much, other than that, I still wear mine. But I have the same problem yesterday, and I think that was some of my issues with today, because yesterday I had a massage done, and I wear my mask in there, even though once again, she disinfects everything and stuff. I just wear it, and I'm to get that massage done. You're also on your stomach. So, and she has one of these like little donut kind of pillows you put your face in and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm laying on my stomach with my head down in that pillow thing, and I've got my mask on too. And it was, I'm gonna say it was hard to breathe, but it was a little bit more, harder, I guess maybe is the word, to breathe, because you're laying face down.
Right.
And I think that had something. I was there for, I mean, her it takes about 45 minutes to do it. So I was laying down, on my face, during that time. I had it on, on the way out and the way back. And I'm the same way. After I've worn it for a while, I got to get some air. I got to take it off. And most of the time when I wear it, after I take it off for the first few minutes, I'm sniffling and carrying on too, like till I guess everything sort of recalibrates or whatever. So yeah, that's the same way with me. And I told myself a number of months ago, I was, everybody was coming out with these designer mask and things, and
Yeah.
everybody was saying, well, really, the disposable ones are better because if you got something and you breathing in the same mask all the time over and over, that ain't helping you either. So
Right.
I started using the disposable ones, so I wouldn't wear them so often, because I would bring them in and wash them and stuff like that in between time. But
Yeah.
if I was in the car and I had to put a mask on, that was the only one in there, I'd put it back on again.
Right. Hmm.
But yeah, now, man, of course, it's always after the fact. But you walk into Walmart, they got boxes of free masks everywhere.
Yeah.
Mary went to Where'd she go? She went the other day when someone came back with this whole big thing. I said, man, why are you bringing all these masks in? Well, they're giving them away. They're free. They're free? Yeah, they're free. I said, well, I thought we was in short supply of masks. Oh, no, that was months ago. They got masks. Everybody's trying to give away masks. And the thing is so bad is I think people have worn the designer ones, as I call them, for so long. People don't like to wear the plain white ones or blue ones or whatever
Right.
more. Everybody wants to wear a designer mask. So I guess between all that,
Yeah.
they got an abundance of masks now. So they got those, what are the N95s or whatever? They got them right there.
Yeah, man.
And coming into Walmart where they have the little hand sanitizer. You can get all the masks you want. They don't say, well, we're going to take one. You can get all you want.
Yeah, I got some N95s. I can't stand them, man. They fit too tight. They snug. That's why they recommended them there for a
Right,
while.
right.
And I'm like, oh no. But hell, you see a lot of these people walking around here with the designer mask and color coordinated with the outfit. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, boy, we can take it that extra mile,
That's
can't we?
right. I'm telling you. And Mary, now when things first started out, she was still at MTSU. So they were giving them those M95 masks, the one that had the little, almost like a little respirator thing on the
Yeah,
front of them.
yeah.
They was giving her those, and she was wearing them for a little bit. And I know how she is. It wasn't long before she started getting these designer ones with the sequins on the front,
Yeah.
and all, and all that mess, man. I said, I knew it wasn't going to take you long.
Yeah, even men walking around here with Michael Jordan's thing on it and just all kinds of stuff, man. I'm like, man, I don't plan to be in this mess too long.
I was the same way. I was out the hospital last week with my aunt. They had to put her in, had to take her to the emergency room, and I was in there with her. And the doctor walked in, and he had one of those kinds that, that has the two filters on each side, almost the kind you see people who are painting cars and stuff wear.
Yeah.
And he walked in, and I said to myself, I was like, man, are you walking into a toxic zone or something? I know you want to be protected, but that looks a little over the top to me.
Trying to be safe.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't be mad at him. He's around people all day long. I probably do the same thing. I'm gonna wear the one that gives me the greatest protection.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. It's hopefully we're on a total decline with this stuff, man. Because I'm just gonna be safe rather than sorry as much. One of my partner's little brother called me yesterday. How you doing? I said, I'm doing fine, man. How about yourself? Oh, well, I'm just getting over this second bout of COVID. I'm like, second bout? You didn't learn on the first, man. This stuff is tough. I said, yeah, that's what I hear, man. I'm trying. I don't even want a little bit of it. And he's like, I said, well, I said it on purpose because I know he's a real religious person. I said, people are always saying God gonna take care of him. When he tried to take care of you, you don't listen. You got your own plan, because he didn't knock on your door and say, hey, God here, this is what you need to do. I said, he sent a vaccine for you to help you along, but people won't take the vaccine. Oh yeah, I know I didn't. Yeah, I didn't take it, man. But see, I was taking these vitamins. I was taking these vitamins that's all in the vaccine. I'm like, man, what's in the vaccine, man?
And you should have said, and how'd that work for you?
Exactly.
You got it twice.
That's
so
what
how did that work for you?
They ain't working too hard for you there. I'm taking all these vitamins. I'm like, okay, bro. I just wanted to see because I know what the deal was. I know he's gonna have an alternative. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. I was like, man, I said, see, God sends you help. You ask for it. He sent it to you, then you won't take it.
Preach, Brother Rodney, preach. Yeah, sometimes I think we put too much on our good Lord. Sometimes we have to use a little common sense. Thanks for joining this time. See you next time on Old Fools Talking Old School. Peace.